Well, everyone, I got it. And I'm happy to report that I was correct on multiple fronts. And for this character, for some reason, I have been on a roll for over 3 years for. Okay, so I predicted correctly that the Usopp lie of the hammer would come to fruition and it would be some sort of squirrel fruit zone user. And I predicted that over 3 years ago. I'll put a link to that video here because it is on the channel and it's said multiple times in other videos, but that's the first time. Then I did have some false guesses on Loki, but that third guess was the biggest guess because I had said that I do think he would become a mythical dragon and that dragon would be the Nidhogg. I also said that it's very likely that he's the dragon atop the Atom Tree in the mural, and we'll do a bigger video about the mural later. But with that being said, all of that is true because in chapter 1174, it is revealed that he is a dragon. Now, I do think that he is the Nidhogg user, so his Devil Fruit will most likely be called the Dragon Fruit Mythical Model Nidhogg. This is important too because this is the first actual dragon in the series, meaning a dragon with 4 legs and 2 independent wings, because every other draconic or dragon-based power before him has not been a true dragon. They have been wyverns or drakes, Kaido included. Kaido and Momonosuke are drakes, and technically they aren't even dragons. If you look at the taxonomy of their Zoan-type devil fruits, they are fish. They are users of the fish fruit model Azure Dragon. So no, they aren't dragons in their traditional sense. Loki is a dragon in the traditional sense, and the only other true dragons that have existed in the narrative as of late are the dragons on Punk Hazard, but we know they are artificial because they were created or revived by Vegapunk. So yes, Loki's a big deal because he's our first true blue natural dragon, even with being a Devil Fruit user. Now, I correctly predicted that in chapter 40, when Usopp is reminiscing about his adventures with the Usopp pirates and the lie of calling a dog a Cerberus and a lizard a dragon, I predicted that was probably going to be the case, that the dragon and the Cerberus end up in the same chapter, and technically that did happen because the sword of Figlet Shamrock is a actual Cerberus, and that actual Cerberus was used to punish Loki, an actual dragon. So Loki and the sword of Figlet Shamrock Cerberus are the actual fulfillments of the Cerberus and dragon lie. So we have fulfillment of the hammer lie in Ragnar, a fulfillment of the dragon lie in Loki, and a fulfillment of the Cerberus lie in Shamrock Sword Cerberus. That's a lot, but it's amazing that all this is coming together. So I'm very proud that I called it so closely to what it actually was. Now we just need to see how exactly the Nidhogg is treated in lore, because it's weird that the Nidhogg alongside Nika are vilified by the children of Elbaf, so we don't know how that is going to pan out exactly. But I do wonder if they see the dragon, Loki, and Nika in good lights, will the nightmare creatures representing them dissipate because there are no longer fears, so therefore they can't be necessarily represented by the fears of the people of Elbaf if they don't fear these things after seeing the real McCoys manifest in front of their eyes. That's what I'm thinking of. So we'll have to see what exactly the Nidhogg is. Because by what Jarl says about Loki's abilities, it seems as though the Nidhogg is a deified beast in a similar vein to Nika. But we don't know. But that's what I'm getting the feel for based on this whole biblical breakdown that Jarl gives about Loki's dragon form, which I believe is the Nidhogg. But with that being said, if you are enjoying the video so far, give me a like, and if you really want to see more of my content, please subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. On top of that, please hit the hype button because it does help. With that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What?